All right, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are enjoying your day. So, today marks the final Sunday of no NFL football. This is the last Sunday of no NFL football until February. So, strap in, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for some NFL football every single week until the Super Bowl, and I cannot wait. Oh my God, this is going to be a very, very eventful season. I cannot wait to see what happens. So many teams with so many exciting storylines, so many teams competing for a championship. The entire AFC is at its most competitive. I don't think I ever remember a time when the AFC has been this competitive. Like, several teams have a legitimate shot to get to and win the Super Bowl. That's amazing. And then you look at the storylines in the NFC, and there's some interesting teams there that are, some of them that are looking to bounce back, others are looking to prove themselves, and others are looking to maintain their greatness. There's so much here this season, and I cannot wait. As a Ravens fan, I'm excited because we're entering week one as healthy as we can be. Again, knock on wood to just protect our guys. Hopefully no one gets hurt, but we're entering week one as healthy as we can be. We survived training camp with as minimal injuries as possible. We did not play most of our starters for the entirety of the preseason. We are entering week one as healthy as we can be, and I'm excited to see what this Ravens squad can do. I'm excited to see how the AFC is gonna go. I'm excited to see how the NFC is gonna go. I'm excited to see how these teams are gonna perform. I'm excited to see some of these primetime games. So much amazing games this season. I cannot wait to see how it turns out. And as a Ravens fan, I'm truly excited because I believe we have an opportunity to do something special here. We got a special unit, offensively and defensively. We got a lot of talent and a lot of potential, and obviously that talent and potential has to show itself. But if it thrives, we could truly be something special, and maybe we can actually go on a title run. Who knows? I'm being optimistic here, but I honestly, as a Ravens fan, I could really use some positivity for my team here, because when I look at the Miami Heat right now, of course, the NBA season doesn't kick off until October, but when I look at the Miami Heat right now, we have not made any moves throughout the offseason and free agency, and we lost PJ Tucker, so that's not good. Meanwhile, the teams around us have dramatically improved. Well, I'm not gonna say dramatically improved, but they've made some improvements and added some pieces. Meanwhile, we lost a piece and we didn't really improve that much. So, my hope for the Miami Heat to make a title run this year, it's somewhat wavering, but we still move, and we just, hope for the best as Heat fans. And of course, in soccer, Liverpool isn't exactly having the start I thought they would have. Again, it's a long season. The Premier League is such a long season, so Liverpool have plenty of time to recover and still compete. I believe they played Everton yesterday and tied with them, so that makes it, 2 wins, 3 draws, and a loss on the season. It's about, 9 points for Liverpool. That puts them 7th in the Premier League. So obviously they got some work to do, and they gotta get themselves together, because right now the way they're playing has not exactly been the best. And they had 2 draws, man. 2 of their draws were against teams that they shouldn't have drew with. I'm just saying. Liverpool knows they gotta get themselves together. They're off to a shaky start. They need to get themselves together. What's actually interesting and shocking to me at the same time is somehow Arsenal of all teams, is first in the Premier League. Yes, it's early on in the season, but Arsenal is first, which is funny to me. I did not expect that. Now, Arsenal's a really good team, but I didn't expect them to be first. Honestly, Manchester City, I expected to be first at this point, which again, speaking of Manchester City, they're 2nd in the Premier League, right behind Arsenal. It will not take them long to overlap Arsenal. Arsenal actually, they played Manchester United today. It was yesterday or today they played United, and they lost 3-1, so yeah. Arsenal's still first right now in the Premier League, but I don't think that's going to hold up for long. Manchester City is a very huge favorite for a lot of people, and I don't blame them. That is a damn good team, and we'll see how that goes. As a Liverpool fan, I understand how dangerous Manchester City is, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I don't talk soccer here, but Liverpool, seriously, gotta get it together. I know it's early in the season, but gotta get it together. 2 of the draws you've had were against teams you should not be drawing with, but get it together. I'm a casual soccer fan, so I'm not gonna go into too much of the semantics. I'm probably the least knowledgeable soccer fan of my family. You can talk to my dad and my uncles, even my sister. They know more soccer than me, but I still enjoy watching Liverpool. If there's any team I watch, it's Liverpool. And right now, the way they're playing is not exactly the way they should be playing. but it is what it is. Anyway, I don't talk soccer here. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to that, unless you are a soccer fan. So let me get back on topic to what I'm supposed to be talking about. Football. Well, American football, not actual football. You know what I mean? The NFL. Yes, the NFL. Yeah, as a Ravens fan, I am very excited to see how the Ravens are going to fare this year. They got a lot of talent and a lot of potential on this team. You look at it defensively, they get back both Marlon Humphrey and especially Marcus Peters. The return of Marcus Peters is going to do so much for improving the Ravens' turnover rate defensively, and that's exactly what you want. Because when Marcus Peters is in the backfield, you know what he can do. When he's in the secondary, you know he can force and generate turnovers, and that's what you want. Of course, you brought in another guy that can do that to a rate, or at least to an extent, and Marcus Williams. We'll see how he fares. And of course, you brought in Kyle Fuller, who should be another piece who could potentially force turnovers. And of course, you drafted Kyle Hamilton, who will also be a nice piece on the defense. And it's all around, this secondary looks nice. They have the chance to be one of the best secondaries, if not the best secondary in football this year. If they can live up to their potential and work well and everyone stays healthy, they'll be in the competition. So we'll see how that goes. Also, I expect McDonald to be putting a lot of different types of coverages out there. There'll be moments where you see 3 safeties out there, for sure. McDonald's going to mix it up, and I cannot wait to see some of the defensive schemes he throws out there. But yeah, I'm excited to see what this Ravens defense can do. Obviously, Odafe Owe taking the next step. He's been an absolute menace throughout training camp, just tearing it up in practice, and I cannot wait to see if he can replicate that same level of success in game time, because if Odafe Owe can continue to make that improvements and become a true monster, then oh my God, it's gonna be something special. So we'll see how that goes. Patrick Queen, another year, more experience for him, and he continues to be great and continues to make those improvements. So I love seeing what Patrick Queen's doing. I expect him to take it to another level this year, and I know he expects himself to take it to another level, and he's gonna play at that level, and I cannot wait to see what Patrick Queen can bring to the table. Overall, I love what I'm seeing from the defense, at least in terms of how they're assembled, and I hope that if everyone can stay healthy, which, knock on wood for that, if everybody can stay healthy, that defensive unit's going to be a terrifying force for a lot of offenses to go up against. As for our offense, there is a lot of potential here and a lot of talent, but that talent and potential has to live up, and we have no clue if that's going to be the case. Lamar Jackson's healthy again. He's looking prime and ready to go on another MVP type run. Everybody that's been talking about Lamar Jackson all around the facility has spoken about how Lamar looks so much more improved as a passer and how he's throwing the ball, how this is the best he's been throwing the ball since he's been in Baltimore. So he's definitely looked great. And we've seen moments of that, obviously, when we've seen the highlights of him making the back shoulder throws, and he had that back shoulder fade to Rashad Bateman for the touchdown, that highlight play that was on Kyle Fuller. So Lamar's he's more engaged. He's making some great throws out there. They said it was the best he's been throwing the football. Even Mark Andrews says Lamar is due. He's ready to have a huge year, and he looks like he's even more in command of the offense. So I just cannot wait to see what Lamar Jackson can do this season. I believe he's gonna have a big year. Will it be an MVP type year? Who knows? But he's gonna have a big year. However, it will come down to how these weapons perform. When you look at the running game, obviously, Gus Edwards is not here yet. He will be probably back around week 5 or week 6, but he's not going to be here early on in the season. J.K. Dobbins is here. However, I do not know if he will play week 1. He'll probably most certainly play week 2, but week 1 is the question. However, J.K.'s been pushing and saying, I'm most likely going to make week 1. I will make week 1. That's what he's been pushing, so we'll see if that's the case. If he can't go, we still have Davis, and of course, we went out and signed Kenyon Drake. So we got some pieces there that can work if we're not able to get J.K. Dobbins in for week 1. But we'll see how that goes as a whole. The running back room at least looks far more improved than what we had to work with last year, especially because we had to find anything to replace all our running backs that we lost last year. So this year, obviously, we're much more improved, and that running back room should be solid, and it'll get even better once we get Gus Edwards back. Then you look at the offensive line. That one is still a work in progress. I have no clue if Ronnie Stanley is going to be able to play week 1. I doubt it. A lot of us doubt it. I think he'll probably be back around week 4. if I was to make an estimate, because there's no reason to rush him, but I have no clue what's happening with Ronnie. They know what they're doing. Whenever he comes back is whenever he comes back. I have no clue, but the offensive line is a work in progress, and we'll have to see how much progress this offensive line is going to make throughout the season. And we'll see how much improvement this offensive line has made in comparison to last season. I believe it's improved, but they have to go out there and show it. So yeah, the offensive line is still a work in progress, and we'll see how that goes throughout the season. And then we get into the tight end situation, which honestly is fantastic. You still have an all-pro tight end in Mark Andrews, who, by the way, is one of the best tight ends, if not the best tight end in the National Football League. So he's still going to be out there. We have a really, and I cannot stress this, a really promising tight end in Isaiah Likely. The man has been killing it throughout training camp. He showcased his talents in the preseason, and everything he's shown us so far points to him being that guy that can go out there and make plays. He's a playmaker. He can be a difference maker in this offense. If he can live up to that potential and live up to what he's shown us so far throughout training camp and throughout the preseason, if he can live up to that in the regular season, then Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely is going to be a very, very dangerous tight end duo for a lot of opposing defenses to deal with. Because when you double team Mark Andrews, because you're going to have to, that's going to leave Isaiah Likely open, and he is able to get open in the zones. He's showcasing that already as a rookie. He's not even playing like a rookie, so we'll see how much of an impact Isaiah Likely can make in this offense. I cannot wait. I like what I've seen from him so far, and hopefully Isaiah's gonna make an impact. And then we get to let's just say we'll get to the area with the most quote-unquote improvement, the most potential, the most talent offensively, and the biggest question mark for the Ravens as a whole, the receiving room. Listen, I understand as fans, we have to sit back and support our team and support the players. That's just what we do as fans. But some of us are not going to be blind fans. We have to be objective, especially those of us that, speak on the team. Be it you're part of the media or be it you're part of Ravens YouTube, we have to be objective as to what we see here. We have to be objective, and we got to speak what we got to speak. This receiving room is filled with a lot of talent. No one denies that. But it's also filled with a lot of potential and unproven guys. There's only one proven guy on that wide receiving room, Demarcus Robinson. Now, Demarcus Robinson is a good addition because he is a proven receiver. He's not an elite receiver, but he is a proven receiver that has had success in the NFL. His success was clearly in Kansas City, so he's had that level of success. He's played well. He showcased that he can do it. He's not an elite receiver, at least not yet, but so far he's shown that he can play, so he is a proven receiver. We don't have to sit back and say, well, he's got potential, but he hasn't proven it. No, Demarcus Robinson is a proven receiver. Hell, when he went up against our defense, he carved us up. So, I mean, it is what it is when you talk about that. So, yeah, Demarcus Robinson is a proven receiver. But not to mention, he's 27. So he's under 30. So that at least is a positive. At least it's not someone in their mid to late 30s where it's like, yeah, he don't have much left. He's in his prime right now, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, other than Demarcus Robinson, everyone else is unproven. Rashad Bateman is set to be our number one receiver, but he's not a proven receiver yet. We're hopeful that he can prove that he can be that number one receiver. We're hopeful that he has a big year, and I believe he will. But he has to go out there and showcase it. And then you get to the two that a lot of Ravens fans do not exactly have a lot of faith and belief in. And that's Devin Duvernay and James Proche, because they've been on the team over the last several years, and they haven't really done much. Now, with James Proche, he has not been utilized at all. Like, he's rarely had moments where he's been utilized. Last year, he was utilized because the receiving room just was not. It was probably because early on, Rashad Bateman was not there due to his injury, so they had to start using Proche. But for the most part, he was not utilized in a lot of games. So we don't even know what he can truly do. And Devin Duvernay, he was utilized, but utilized in special teams. That's how he became a Pro Bowler as a returner. But as a receiver, he hasn't done much. He's had plays here and there, so that's cool, but he hasn't done much. So neither one of these guys are proven, and a lot of the fan base are not high on those guys, and they don't believe that they're going to be difference makers. And I understand we want to have those high hopes and belief that they're going to be those playmakers and difference makers, but that's not always the case. not every single player is going to be this huge impact player that's going to consistently make plays for you, especially when it comes to receiving room. Not every single receiver is going to thrive. That's just the truth of it. Not every single receiver is going to thrive. Now, we hope these guys can thrive, and we hope these guys can be difference makers, but they're not guaranteed. They have some talent, there's some potential there, but they have to prove it. They're unproven. So this is their opportunity to showcase what they can do, and we'll see if they can handle that. We'll see if they can showcase their talent, their potential on the field by actually making those plays. And I'm excited to see if they can do it, because if they can't do it, it's going to be unfortunate, but we'll have our answer. If they can do it, that's going to be a huge benefit for our offense, because now you got guys that are showing up and constantly making plays, and we'll never have to sit back and complain. If Rashad Bateman lives up to be the #1 receiver, and you have Devin Duvernay and James Prochet and Demarcus Robinson all pitching in and giving you really great production, this offense is going to be explosive. So we'll see what happens. That wide receiving room is a big question mark here, and they have a lot to prove this year. It's up to them to do it. No, there are a lot of questions from the Ravens fans, and there's a lot of skepticism about that offensive unit when it comes to receiving core. You guys got to go out there and prove it. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm excited for football, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for a lot of these primetime games. I cannot wait. Final Sunday. The final Sunday with no football. From now until February. And I'm telling you, man, I cannot wait for this to start. Everything kicks off Thursday night between the Bills and the Rams, which, by the way, without question, is the game of the week. Bills and Rams is the game of the week. Don't tell me nothing else. Not Cowboys, Bucks, not Cardinals, Chiefs. No. Bills, Rams. Game of the week, no question. And I cannot wait for Thursday night. It's going to be fantastic. But yeah, I'm excited for the season. Football's almost here, and it kicks off with Thursday Night Football. So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for a brand new NFL season, and I'm excited to see a lot of these matchups. Cannot wait for it to go down. But with that being said, that is all I've got, and I'm out of here, man. Peace!